Welcome. This is a reading, collective reading, and it is for June. Because we're just so close to the end of May now, I'm going to go into the June readings. It's a collective reading for June on health. So it's physical health this time, because we've just done emotional health for May. So we're going to do physical health for June, okay? So let's go into it. Let's see what we get. Let's pick a collective, well, not a collective card, but a card from the spirit guides. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for supporting. Oh, sorry. Okay, let's see what we get. June. June. Physical health for June. Physical health for June. Physical health for June. A very good card. The blue flame. Spontaneous awakening, activation and integration time. Wow. So that looks like a hell of a lot of healing. Integration is healing, isn't it? So all that energy that we've been healing and working on energetically is going to integrate physically. So there's going to be physical improvements in our health in June. Yay! So let's go deeper. Let's see what we're getting. So the blue flame, spontaneous awakening, activation and integration time. So the current health, Two of Cups. So now this is water energy. Water is very healing, as you know. And the Two is very healing as well, because it's like, it's the resolution energy in the Two of Cups. You get resolution, so it's like a coming together. So where we might have felt very fragmented or not feeling too well physically, it's soothing, it's coming together. And integration is the same energy, isn't it? Okay, let's pick a card to go with this. King of Cups reversed. There may be, at the moment, it's been a bit difficult to actually follow the guidance we've been getting with our health. We've got here the King of Cups. King of Cups is very protective, and it really indicates spirit guides supporting you with guidance and protection and good advice for your health and your safety, but it's in reversed. So it may be that you've been finding it quite hard to actually follow all of the advice when it comes to your health, when it comes to your physical well-being. There may have been things that you've been doing or thinking that could have been affecting your physical health. But you know, that could be on the mend really with the Two of Cups. You could be starting to address those things and starting to improve those things. So this is like kind of like the beginning, I think, of some good decision making. Past issues affecting the present. Okay, so you may have felt very stuck with your health, with your physical health. You could have felt very stuck, but kind of in a way, things you were doing were actually making it worse, you know, because the Eight of Swords is self-imposed suffering. So, you know, there was this kind of feeling of, actually, are we probably doing things that were not good for our physical health, you know? And it's in reverse, which is very good, because this is liberation from suffering. So you have made some good choices. You've definitely been moving away from maybe addictions or poor decision making. And I would say, because this is past issues affecting the present, you know, I would say for a little while now, you've actually been trying to improve the conditions of your life so that your physical health would be improved, you know. But it kind of feels like it's still early days, because sometimes it's hard to follow the guidance, and you might sometimes feel yourself kind of slipping, you know, and thinking, oh, I don't know if I can really do it? Can I really like keep on the straight and narrow with my health and well-being? So let's have a look at a card to go with that. You've definitely been making progress. Oh yeah, wow, Two of Cups again. So you've sort of been healing yourself, because Two of Cups is like a reconciliation, an apology. I mean, it's a healing energy. It's like you've been getting to know yourself again, and actually, you know, we've been starting to understand ourselves better physically and actually even maybe emotionally, and actually that's been a really good thing for our health. It's helped us to liberate ourselves from the really bad physical health that we were probably in, or where things were starting to affect us on a physical level. How can we improve our health, our physical health? We've got here the King of Wands. King of Wands is about communication, so it might be really important to communicate with somebody. It might be really important to take the support from somebody, because King of Wands typically is somebody that can offer you a boost, could maybe offer you some support here with your health. So there's somebody that you could potentially communicate with or access support from with your health, but also you need to believe in yourself more and eradicate fears, because the Star card in reverse comes out next. Star card in reverse is fear, because with the Star card, you know, everything's aligned, everything looks really good, and it looks like things will go in your favour, right? But when it's in reversed, what does that mean? Fear, lack of belief, because the stars are all aligned, but you're just not believing. So kind of like what the tarot is saying is, how can you improve your health is by sort of taking charge of yourself and taking charge of your fears and taking charge of your doubts and saying no. You know, you need to be a King of Wands. King of Wands takes charge. King of Wands takes positive action, is a good communicator. Like I said, you may have to communicate with somebody, you may have to just take charge generally. There may be somebody that can offer you a boost, or maybe you've got to kind of offer yourself a boost. But it is definitely to do with you not listening to fears, right? Sorry, my hair's annoying me today. I don't know why my hair's annoying me. I've washed it today, but it's just doing my head in. So the Star card reversed, yeah, fears. And that's what you need to do to improve your physical health, is to eradicate all fear from your mind. And that's going to have a positive effect. It will put you back in your sort of driver's seat, if you like the King of Wands energy is. Because King of Wands is really positive energy. Immediate changes, 10 of Pentacles reversed. You know, is there somebody in the family that's ill that you need to kind of address things with or pull back from and give yourself space from it? Because 10 of Pentacles reversed can mean somebody in the family is not very well. Also, it can mean you know, not going ahead with something because it's just not going to work, you know, and actually you'd be better off sort of pulling back from certain relationships or situations because, you know, they're just not really working. Let's have a look at what card goes with this for a bit more information. The Empress reversed. Empress reversed. You see, now it could be that somebody's been using you. Is there somebody either in the family or just in your network that uses you? Because that is showing up as an immediate change that you could make. Okay, because Empress reversed You see, in the upright, the Empress is very nurturing. In reversed, it can represent, you know, somebody who's not nurturing, somebody who's a user, you know, yeah. Also, you know, having a think about something that's not so fortunate in your life at the moment, and that kind of needs immediate change. It needs immediate work. Pull back from wider networks as well. If you're involved with a wider network, and that could even be online, right? Or it could be in the real world. But if there's some kind of network, whether that's a family or, like I said, it could be online, community or something like that, and it's best to pull back from it at the moment because it doesn't look like it's bringing you good fortune. It's not nurturing you, and it could involve somebody that's using you. But alternatively, there could be someone that's not very well that also that issue needs addressing. Okay, so your state of mind about your physical health. Well, getting over the worst, and Ten of Swords is kind of like an ending, but it's a very painful ending. Ten of Swords in reversed is like, you know, you're really, really over it now. You're really, really over being traumatized by your physical health, or dictated to by your physical health, or letting it rule your life, or letting it ruin your life. It's like, I'm not going to allow these issues to do with my physical health to affect me anymore in a really negative space. I'm not going to allow it, you know. Tarot is really showing, Tarot is really showing that we are now over the worst. And it's very good because we can disidentify, because remember, you are a spiritual being, and spiritual beings, that is ultimately what you are. This body is just an illusion, and the only real reality is the spirit being within, and that is who you really are. And so it's the right thing to disidentify, being more disidentified from your physical problems, just not entertaining any thoughts about them whatsoever. Ace of Pentacles reversed. You know, testing at times, disappointing at times, you know, feeling disappointed about your health at times, but at the same time, all right, you know you're disappointed about your health, so then just literally don't allow the mind to go there. Just don't allow the mind, because it's the ego that wants to ruminate on negative thinking, and it can be like an addiction when the mind wants to do this. So it's learning how to completely disidentify from it, and that's what you're going to be doing, which is the healthiest thing you can do. And as you disidentify from the physical health, what happens is, the more disidentified you become, you're not looking externally at the body or externally at the world. You actually start to go more deeply within the self. Now, the self is source consciousness, and all the abundance, all of the healing can come through source consciousness energy. So if you can align yourself to the vibrational energy of source consciousness within the self by looking within and disidentify from what your body is telling you, you're actually going to be accessing the true healing. And who knows what miracle healings can occur when you're in that energy, right? Path to start feeling better. 9 of Pentacles reversed. Is there somebody... no, 6 of Pentacles reversed, sorry. Is there somebody using you? Again, this is showing up again. Taking from you. Is there somebody who tries to use you or take from you? Are you blocking the ability to receive? 7 of Cups reversed. Making a decision. Ooh. Making a decision about somebody who uses you or takes from you. Making a decision, being much more clear. Being much more clear about this person, about what you expect from them or what you don't expect from them. you know, having more boundaries, even in your own self. Like I said, with this card about disidentifying, if you've got physical health problems or physical health issues, you know, you can choose to disidentify from it and not allow the mind to ruminate on it or think about it. Because the only true reality is that you are a spiritual being. And therefore, the body is an illusion, right? And it's the same thing with, because what's it going to achieve anyway by thinking negative thoughts about your health? What does that actually achieve? All it does is it just vibrationally aligns you to a lower vibration. And then you can't actually access the healing that Source has to offer because you're in the wrong vibration for it. That's why disidentification really is the best thing that you can do, particularly when it comes to your health. Get your health needs met, like go to a doctor, go to a healer, go to get medicine, you know, do those things, but mentally disidentify. It's the best thing you can do, because otherwise the mind, the ego just loves to attach to negativity. So you see, it will, and that will just keep you out of alignment with source consciousness, where the true healing is. So you sort of get in this message that you need to disidentify from any physical health problems. And then the same thing's coming up here. You know, be clear about what's going on with somebody in your life. And there's two sets of cards here that are showing that somebody is potentially using you and taking from you without really giving. Now, you might not be able to completely cut this person out of your life, but what about just disidentifying from it and just not allowing your mind to keep thinking about it all the time? Because again, if you keep thinking about somebody in your life that you know sort of is using you, taking from you, you know, it's dropping your vibrational level. So you'd be better off disidentifying from it and not thinking about it. And the more neutral you become and the more at peace you become, again, you're then aligning to source consciousness energy, and things are more likely to change. And funnily enough, I actually saw a thing by Esther Hicks yesterday, and she had actually put this comment on Facebook that said, the quickest way to get out of a place you don't like is to actually decide that you like it. And I thought it's so true, because whenever I've been in a point of my life where I really didn't like something, the moment I started to accept it and just surrender to it and just kind of live with it, that's when it inevitably seemed to just change. And things just magically started to improve, you know? So if there is somebody in your life that is using you or tries to use you, the best thing you can do is, obviously, if you can get them out of your life, great. But if you can't for some reason, because they're family or it's not that straightforward or you're just not ready, the best thing you can do, at least, is to just not allow your mind to think about it. Because by allowing your mind to think about the negativity that person's bringing to your life because they're using you or they're manipulating you, that just drops your vibrational level, and then it's disconnecting you from source consciousness, and then it makes it really hard for that situation to change. So there's definitely something here about having a lot more clarity over somebody who is manipulating you or trying to take from you. And then then we'll look at the outcome. The outcome. Right. Here, the fiery sword in reversed. Now, that could mean delays, but it could also mean taking a gentle approach, slowing things down. Let's have a look what card we get with it. Three of Cups reversed. You know, that is kind of like losing interest. Well, again, it's the same thing, really. Disidentify. Just feels like that's the message, repeating. Don't think about the negatives of your physical health. If you've got, I mean, I can't imagine anyone watching this who hasn't got physical health issues, you know, because who would? If your physical health is perfect, I don't think you'd probably watch this video, right? And your physical health issue could be something very minor, or it could be something very big. But whatever it is, the message is coming out again to surrender and just go into a deeper level of acceptance about it. And the best way that I can say is by not thinking about it. Just anytime a thought tries to arise, a negative thought about your health, you just cut it off at the root. Cut it off at the root. Cut it off at the root. Don't even allow it to rise, because it's the ego trying to sabotage you and pull you out of alignment with source consciousness, and source consciousness is the true healing. You know, it's the place where you're going to get all your healing, because once you're aligned with source consciousness, you're relaxed, you're open to source, and source is abundance. It's love, you know, and it's just healing energy. And so, you know, that's where you need your vibration to be. And so you need to kind of, you know, relax. You need to surrender, accept, and just lose interest. 3 of Cups is losing interest. You know, just lose interest in thinking about it. Just take the necessary steps you have to take to address your health, and the rest of the time you shut off from it. You don't think about it, you know. So let's have a look at the bottom of the deck to see what's being... Well, that's amazing. This is what's hidden that we don't see. Arising. Okay, so this is a death card. This means renewal. So if you can kind of like take the necessary steps you need to take with your physical health, as well as think about, is there somebody in your life that manipulates you where you need to either have more boundaries, you need to pull back from them, or you need to just kind of be just accepting, okay, look, it's not ideal, but this is just the way my life is right now. And just learn to disidentify from it, and don't torture yourself mentally over that person. Don't allow yourself to even think negative thoughts about that person, because that's what the ego wants you to do. It wants to keep dragging you into that negative space. So this is kind of a weird reading, and I know not everybody's going to get it and not everybody's going to understand, but if you watch Eckhart Tolle, or you follow Mooji or Ramana Maharishi, any of these types of gurus, Papaji, they all teach the same thing, which is that the mind wants to always think negative thoughts. And we all know that there's a real link between our thoughts and our physical health. And this reading is basically saying that if we want to improve our physical health, the best thing we can do is take the necessary actions to look after our health, but at the end of the day, stop thinking about it completely. You know, and that's what I do. As soon as a thought arises, I just cut it off at the root. I just won't even entertain it, you know, because I'm not going to allow my ego to take me into that negative space, you know. And if there's somebody in your life that's pulling you out of vibrational alignment, that's going to affect you physically as well. And you need to stop thinking about that person, either by pulling back from them, by not having them in your life, or just saying, okay, they're in my life, but I'm not going to allow myself to mentally go there anymore. You know, I'm just going to choose to be at peace with the way this is. And I'm going to say, do you know what? God's going to sort this out for me. You know, spirit is the higher power. Everything is predestined. You know, so, you know, spirit is going to sort this out. But this is what Ramana Maharishi taught. Give all your burdens to God. You know, because God is the higher power. Spirit is the higher power doing all of this. And what is spirit? What is God? It's the source consciousness that's in you, flowing through you all of the time. So you just give everything to that energy. There's no need for negative thinking. There's no need for negative thinking about your health, and there's no need for negative thinking about anyone in your life that's been using you or manipulating you. No more fear-based energies either, remember? Star card reversed. Don't allow the mind to go into fear-based thoughts about your physical health or about any other part of your life, because there could be fear-based thoughts that you've had about other parts of your life, and you know that directly impacts your physical health. So fear-based thoughts. So this whole reading is about disidentification, and surrender. And it's much easier to surrender and just come into a peaceful state of acceptance when you're disidentifying. This kind of goes to, the two things go together. The interesting thing is we've got this first card that was about integration time. So how can you integrate all of your physical health, all of your, like you've been purging, you've been healing, you've been doing all this amazing emotional and energetic work. How can you integrate all of that if you're still having loads of negative thoughts? You can't, and your spirit guides are saying it's time to integrate. It's time to integrate all this healing that you've been doing and all these good decisions that you've been making, because you've definitely been making 2 cups twice. You've been making some very healing decisions for yourself, as well as the 8 of Swords reversed. You've been making very good healing decisions for yourself to release yourself from suffering. So you want to carry that on. Don't go into fear-based thoughts in June. Disidentify from any negative thinking about a user, manipulator in your life, and or negative thoughts about your physical health. Don't go there. Just keep practicing connecting to spirit, source within you. That's the only place your focus needs to be. And that will bring you into that beautiful vibration of healing. And it will soften your energy, The fiery sword is in reverse. It's all about softening your energy and just being at peace. And it's so peaceful when we don't allow our mind to think about these horrible negative things. It does take vigilance, it takes diligence to do that, because the mind's in a pattern of always going out into these little negative fear-based thoughts to do with our physical health or a relationship, but we're not allowing that anymore because it's pulling us out of alignment, so we can't access that true healing from source. If you find it difficult, if you're finding it challenging, then you can obviously message me and book in for a reading, or even just a session where we don't have to pick cards. We can just talk through consciousness, talk through healing, how you're doing it, because you're your healer, you're your best healer. You can do all of this. Obviously get medical interventions, but then the rest of it you can do yourself. That's it really. So that's the message. I hope it was helpful. I think it's a nice reading really, because it is just about passing your burdens to spirit. And if you do that, you've got this card at the end, the arising. Okay, arising, coming out of difficulty, coming out of feeling stuck, and it's renewal. It's also making a good decision, a very good decision. And what you don't realise is you're going into a new chapter in your life. A new chapter in your life that is down to the fact that you're making much better choices for yourself, and you're the one that's prepared to put the hard work in. And as you put the hard work in and you make the better choices, you move into a much more positive chapter now. And that's what June is about for you and your physical health, okay? So I'm sending you lots of love and peace. And thank you for subscribing. Thanks for supporting. And if you'd like a reading, like I said, or a session, just contact me. One love.